What's up, people? So in today's video, I am going to share my current build for the CRA Necromancer Skeleton Mages. Okay, so this is going to be a build guide, and in this build guide, I am just going to give you a brief statistical breakdown of what this build is capable of, what is the weakness of this build, and what it shines at the most. Alright. Okay, and I'm going to follow it up by just showcasing some of the important stuff that you need to take note on POB. Of course, I'm not going to go through the whole entire POB. You can just look at it yourself. There are notes in the sections. And before I go through into the details, you can just enjoy the short clips of some of my gameplays first and some of my boss fights. Enjoy! Okay, and a quick showcase of this build. I'm going to run the Crimson Temple map that is corrupted with the essence, and going to be just a elk and go map. Right. Oh, we have Delirium Mirror. Nice. Okay, so I can basically show you how this works perfectly with the Delirium Mirror. Right, you need to understand that this is actually not the fastest clearer, but it does the job. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, you gotta be careful of the burns, alright. Even on those strong box that actually detonates the... what do you call that? Detonates the corpse, we can even survive that. Okay, so usually most builds are not able to survive that, I understand. But this build is so tanky that it only dies to the ignite damage. Okay, look, I'm just running right straight into the pack of mobs. No fear, no fear. Oop. I did not see which door to open, so I'm just going to randomly open anyone. Okay, oops. I'll reply you later. My apologies. Oh, this is a nice one. This is a nice and juicy one. Oh my god, this is a really juicy essence. And it is not dying for some reason, is it? Okay, let's go, let's go. Hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, actually, honestly speaking, Delirium is not the best map for Crimson Temple, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show. Now, this is one. Oh my god, that is insane. No, I don't even know what's happening. I only know I'm not dying. Pretty sure a normal build with like just mediocre defense will die in that situation. Ignite you when activated. So if you get ignited, right, and the ignite damage is really a lot, please press your Vow Discipline. Alright, your Vow Discipline is going to help you survive that kind of situations. Oop. So there is actually a few of those guardians, right, or bosses that has tons of ignite damage. Okay, so for those bosses, I think one of the Elder Guardians, you really just have to be careful with that. If you are farming Elder Guardians, okay, they are really painful, and it's really hard to survive that. Okay. Contains a chest for currency. Oh, my delirium ended. I did not notice, but it's fine, it's fine. Stone of Passage. I have no idea which door to open also, I did not see. Okay, so in a normal map, right, probably without delirium, you are even less likely to die. Right, with delirium, I mean, so far I have not died before, other than to the ignite. So it should be fine. Okay, if we are talking about simulacrum, then that is a different issue. Okay, because there's so many arch nemesis mods inside. I can't guarantee your safety. Even I myself also die a few times. I did complete Simulacrum 30, but I myself died a few times. Yeah, you can see the instant of damage over there is like going up and going down, right? The energy shield. Ah, this road is weird. Okay, I'm gonna just go up and wrap this run. Yeah, let me just go to the boss and wrap up this run. Oh, Harbinger. In the boss. Exalted Shard. Wait, is the boss dead or not? Okay, the boss is dead. Alright, okay, so that's it for the normal map run gameplay. Okay, and now attempting the feared. I'm gonna try something which is actually quite insane. I have captivated interest. Alright, I think I might die, honestly, I'm not sure, but I know it's gonna be super hard because all the bosses are gonna be released at once. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm able to kill it. Which side should I stand first? Top left, top right? Top left, top right? Oh! Wait. Is all this positioning basically showing where they're gonna stand? Oh, that's I don't know. Okay, let me try. Okay, I'm gonna stand at Aziri here. Let's go! Oh, it's true. And what the holy crap, that is really hard, man. I'm not even kidding. Wait, did somebody die? No? That's not possible. This is... Oh! Uber. Elder. Don't kill me. Wait. I don't even know what is going on. Like, in all honesty. I only know somebody died. And I nearly got caught in a beam. Okay, 2 died, 3 died, 4 died. That is really hard. That is very hard, I swear. Are we done? Are we done? Yes, we are done! Oh my god, this is insane. Yeah. Okay, so at a glance, I'm just going to show you what this build can actually offer you. Okay, first up, we actually have a decent amount, yes, not the highest and also not the lowest. It's sitting at about 6,000 with all the energy shield at tier 2. If you are getting something lower than that because it's too expensive or hard to find, about maybe let's say a tier 3 ES equipment, you should still be sitting about 5,007, 5,006-ish kind. Okay, so not so bad. And then next, we're going to have a high amount of armor and physical damage reductions. You can see over here, we have 60,000 armor, right? If I average it out, it's about 60,000. And just for your info, we are going to use Aegis Aurora for this build. Okay. And next, we have maximum block chance, 75%. However, I need to inform you that this is not reflected properly in the POE, okay? Because it did not capture the Searing Exarch modifier, and the spell block chance is actually lower than whatever that you see over here. But in the game itself, it's actually maximum. Okay, so not to worry. For the highest DPS, this is the maximum we can achieve. It's about 13 million. Alright, the mapping wise is slightly different, but this is just a rough gauge to let you understand how powerful or how much damage this build can actually dish out. Right, and next for the estimated cost. So estimated cost, the items and equipments is about 35 exalts. That is including your animate guardian equipments, and the skill gems I would say is about 20 exalts. Okay, it's slightly more expensive. It's 20 exalts. And total is about 55 exalts. All right, this is just the estimated cost, 55 exalts to get you fully online and become a super tank. Okay, and next, what is the weakness of this build? I would say is actually fire. Okay, to be exact, it is actually ignite. Right, it is not weak to fire damage, but it's weak to ignite. Apparently I've tried to find ways to mitigate this ignite damage, but there isn't space or gaps anymore that I can fit into it. Alright, there are other more important stuffs that we need to deal with in the build, and so the best I can do, right, is to use a ruby flask, right, which I'll explain later. And what can this build not do, right? Guys, this build can do everything. Alright, I have just completed the Fiat. I have completed Simulacrum Wave 30. I have done 100% Delirious map. This guy is just one of a beast. Okay, it can tank through everything except Ignite. Unfortunately, except Ignite, I have to tell you, you will pathetically die to Ignite sometimes. Alright, if you are not careful. Usually if I get ignited and I see like my ES is dropping quite drastically, I will just activate a Vow Discipline straight away so that, you know, I don't die straight away. Okay, next, and on to the POB. Of course, I'm not going to show every single thing, but I'm just going to showcase roughly what are the important stuff. Okay, so this is a level 95 skill tree. As usual, I have multiple skill trees for you to progress your level. You might be at other level, or you might be starting a new character. So the first one, the base will be level 80. This is really something, like if you are playing a new character or you're starting out new, but you already have the equipments, you can start transitioning over here. Okay, and then level 90, I would say, will be the bare minimum that this build should be to truly go online. Okay, and then 95 will be where it will shine the most at its peak. Basically, it's just adding more damage. Alright, if you can see, from 90 to 95 is about 1 million damage, and then 95 to 100 is just more damage, because basically 95 to 100 will just be taking Grave Pack and the notes over here. Okay, so yes, I know the skill tree is slightly weird, because usually for minion builds we will go towards the left side, correct? Right, but for this one we have to go towards the right side, because we are going for CI, which is Chaos Inoculation, and that is awesome because there are so many chaos and poison damage in the game. We just like this and one problem is solved. Right, that is the nice and cool part about this build. Okay, next basically is the cluster jewel. So the cluster jewel, bear in mind that 12 is not necessary. You can use 11 passive skills. Alright, so 11 or 12 is okay. For this build, I don't recommend 10, because at level 90 to 100 onwards, we are going to rely a lot of damage, like inclusion from the cluster. So 11 and 12 will be the ideal one. Alright. Of course, we're going to get the Fortress Covenant and your Quickening Covenant. Alright, and you definitely need to have the Medium Cluster Jewel with Blessed Rebirth. Alright, Renewal is not mandatory, but I will say it's good to have. Okay, and next, of course, this is just self-explainable Dead Reckoning for our Skeleton Mages. Okay, moving over to the left side, we have another cluster. Alright, oh yes, and I forgot to mention the cluster needs to have this 2 modifier, which is added passive skills have 35% increase effect and minions have 3% increased attack and cast speed. It has to be 3%, okay? If you are getting 2%, then this small added passive skills will mean nothing to it, okay? You can do the math yourself, right? 2%, 35% of 2% is less than 1. So if it's less than 1, it will not be included. But if it's 3%, 35% of 3% will mean it is at least more than 1%, and that will mean every small little node we take here is going to be 4% increased attack speed and at least 13% increased damage, right? So that is why this is important, okay? And any other thing you put in the cluster jewel or have in the cluster jewel is just a bonus. Okay, you can get ES, armor, more stats, okay? Stats is actually very important or crucial, I will say, over here, and I'll explain it why. Okay, the next one we need to have is basically 2 small cluster jewel with mana reservation efficiency, because at this point I'm trying to squeeze all of the defensive auras, and it is quite important for this build to actually function properly. Okay, so one of them needs to have uncompromising and 35% increase effect, because the small passive that we are going to take, this 6%, will actually become 8% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills. Okay, and over here it is the same, in 35% increase effect and righteous path just for the Zilor 3 reduce increase mana reservation efficiency, sorry. So if you don't have this, basically you cannot reserve all of your mana for your skills. Okay, that's about it for the jewels. Yes, one more, sorry, one more is the Watcher's Eye. Okay, so for the Watcher's Eye, you need the modifier to gain 8% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield while affected by clarity. So why do we need this? Guys, our mana is at least more than 2000. Okay, so 8% of 2000, you basically have a flat ES of about 300 to 400. Okay, that is really a lot, right? So this is important over here. Okay, and I will say the rest, just follow the tree, right? The block is over here. Okay, so let me just switch back to a level 95 one, and basically how do we add up to all our block chance, right? I'm just going to do a quick show over here. We are going to take Sanctuary, which is basically the portion over here. This portion over here is going to help you add your block, both spell and attack and spell block, right? So we do not need to add this 1% block chance to attack per 5% chance to block on equipped shield, because we already max out our block. Alright, and then for the spell block, there is a lot of variation. Alright, so first up will be our Rumi's Concoction, second will be the small node over here, and then we are actually going to take Mystic Bulwark. Alright, these two over here are going to give us 8%, plus the remaining one is actually from the boots, the Searing Exarch modifier that has increased effect to Bone Offering. So basically Bone Offering is affecting us because of Mistress of Sacrifice. Okay, so yes, this is it. This is the skill tree. I will explain more in the skills and items so you can get a better grasp of this build. Okay guys, and now I'll be going through the skill tree, skill gems, pardon me. So our 6th link, we're gonna have Vaal Skeleton Mages, Spell Echo. Okay, you do not need Awaken Spell Echo, but if you are feeling rich, please by all means go and purchase Spell Echo. Alright, I'm just going to give you a quick glance here. Alright, what happens if I'm going to change this to Spell Echo. Okay, so do remember about the DPS over here. Alright, it is, let's just put it 13 million. Alright, 13 million. If I'm going to have Spell Echo, we are only going to have 13.8 million. Alright, if you feel you are willing to spend that amount exalt just for that 1 million boost of damage, like guys, by all means, you're feeling rich. So okay, what I'm trying to tell you here is not needed. Okay, so first up, spell echo. Go for the anomalous one. Alright, because the anomalous one basically has more damage than a 2120 spell echo. Alright, the damage is not extremely significant, but it is higher and it is cheaper. Okay, hear me correct, it is cheaper than a 2120 spell echo, right? But of course, if you want a 2120 anomalous spell echo, then that's even better. Okay, next we have awaken minion damage. Just a 520 will do. And the next one will be increased critical damage. Alright, 2023. Please do remember, 2023 is better than 2120. Okay, do not mistake this up. You can see at 2023, you basically have 149 critical strike multiplier, but at 2120, we have, okay, there's 150, alright, but the difference, right, is not significant, but the price is quite a fair bit of difference. So I would suggest to just get a 2023 one. It is sufficient enough. Okay, so the next thing will be why increase critical damage. Most of the people are using awakened elemental focus, correct? The reason is because our crit chance is quite high for the skeleton mages. So on the configuration, you can see I only have 2 charges each. Okay, so let's say if you're gonna use 3 host chieftain, right, our damage is gonna skyrocket a lot. Okay, because we're gonna have a lot of power charges. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why crit damage is performing higher, because more base damage with not so much necessarily mediocre amount of critical chance will basically give you more damage. Okay, this scales more towards the higher end instead of the lower end. So if you're on the low budget, the elemental focus will give you more damage. Okay, and next we have our usual pierce and volley. Okay, I'm not going to put in hypothermia. If you want to put hypothermia, by all means you can just take out your pierce. Okay, but for the sake of the laziness of a lot of people out there, this is just the 6 link that you're going to use. Alright, next will be our trigger wand. So the trigger wand is very interesting this time. Sorry, let's just use 20, okay? So we're going to use Desecrate and Burnt Offering, like all of you guys know, right? But there is something different over here. We're going to use Inspiration. Okay, some of you might be wondering, why Inspiration? Why is it so weird? The reason is because we do not have enough mana to cast these trigger spells. Alright, we're gonna have the trigger wand, and trigger wand has 150% more mana cost. I think so. I can't remember, sorry. Yes, 150 more mana cost, right? So we also cannot use life tap because we are on CI, right? We only have 1 life. If you use, you're gonna die, right? So no life tap, and then high mana cost. If I were to show you over here, okay, the Desecrate is going to cost you 54 mana, but and the Burnt Offering is going to cost you 74 mana. And mind you, this is with Inspiration, okay? If I'm going to take out Inspiration, your Burnt Offering is going to cost you 92 mana, and your Desecrate is going to cost you 67 mana. Where in the world are you going to find such a high amount of base mana just to cast these 2 skills every 8 seconds? Like, one shot you have to cast both Desecrate and Burnt Offering. Let's just say 67 plus, what is the other one? 92, right? Is it 92? Yes, so that adds up about 159 mana. That is a lot, okay? That is why the Inspiration is here. It is a skill that supports others to have reduced mana cost, and that's why it lowers down to 54 and 74. And we basically have a base mana of about 122, alright? Roughly 122, and that is basically enough. Okay, if you do not want to use a level 20 Desecrate, you can always use a level 1 Desecrate, and there you go, your mana cost is 24. But do remember, when you raise your Spectral, it has to be a level 20 Desecrate. Please remember that, okay? Next will be our aura and movement skill on the shield, and this will be our Awakened Generosity plus our Zealotry. So Zealotry get the anomalous one for the additional critical strike multiplier. Flame Dash just get anything, right? Next, our aura. What is the second set of aura we're gonna use? Basically, it is Vow Discipline for our ES, Determination for our armor, Tempest Shield. It has to be Divergent, alright? Okay, I understand. First up is the Divergent. Tempest Shield is extremely expensive, alright? It is going for about 5 to 6 exalt now, and for starters, you can just buy the default one first. You're going to lose about 2% of the spell block chance, and if you feel you don't need it, you can just continue to use a 21-20 default, what's that, Tempest Shield, alright? Otherwise, if you really want to max your block, alright, do get a Divergent Tempest Shield, okay? And next up will be our Defiance banner, 21-20. Okay, so this one, try to get it at 20% quality, but Determination, not necessary because the quality is increased area of effect. Okay, next is our minion support. Alright, falling minion support, our usual Ray Spectral, Animate Guardian, Mid Shield, and Mid Life. The only difference is the Animate Guardian. I highly recommend you to get a Divergent one because it has 40% more life, and this will help the Animate Guardian to stay alive as much as possible. Next is Ray Spectral. You need to have a 21 Ray Spectral, alright? I don't care if you have like no quality or whatsoever. You need to have a 21 Ray Spectral. Otherwise, you cannot raise 4 Spectral. You are only gonna raise 3. Okay? And the last one will be the third set of aura plus your utility skills. So first up we have Molten Shell to give you more armor. Alright, so that you can take more damage. Anomalous, so that the buff can actually take more damage equal to 5% of armor. So 5% of our armor, right, like I mentioned over there just now, it was, let's just say it was 60k armor. I'm just going to give you a brief breakdown. Times 0.05, you're going to take 3000 additional. The buff, right, is going to help you to take in 3000 more additional damage. Okay, that is insane. Right, Sniper Smart, 21-20 for more single target damage. I'm gonna run level 1 clarity only, just for the Watcher's Eye. You don't need more. Precision, you can run 21-20 or 20-20, right? It doesn't matter. Basically, this is just gonna give you the increased crit chance, and that is why just now I explained that in our Skeleton Mages, increased critical damage is gonna deal more damage than actually awaken elemental focus. Alright. Okay, and then the last one is actually our Hungry Loop skill gem. So for this build, we are going to use the Hungry Loop, and inside it, we're going to socket the Summon Stone Golem. So what is in the Hungry Loop? The Hungry Loop is going to have Feeding Frenzy, Minion Life, Elemental Army, and wait, why is there Summon Phantasm? Alright, I think something is wrong over here. My apologies. It is supposed to be Minion Speed. Okay, you can add in, okay, so basically, the important skill gems to have in your Hungry Loop is Feeding Frenzy, Minion Life, Elemental Army. For the fourth one, you basically can add anything else. Like just now you have seen, you want to add Summon Phantasm is also fine. Alright. Empower will actually be the best, but Empower is like such a pain in the ass to level up and put it into the Hungry Loop. So for me, I would just recommend Minion Speed is enough. Alright, it is enough. The reason why is because you can afford for the Summon Stone Golem to die. If it dies, just resummon it back. Right, simple, easy. There's nothing to worry about. That is why I put the Summon Stone Golem over here. Okay, so that's it for the skill gems. Okay, and next up, I'm going to talk about the items. And guys, please listen to this portion really carefully because it is different from the live build. You will need to understand why all these items are in place. Alright, so first of all is the Convoking Wall. I think this is no surprise to everybody. So it's the +1 to spell and +1 to minion skill gems, and then the other 3 you can basically just benchcraft it all by yourself. It costs 4 exhausts. Alright, next will be the Aegis Aurora. So this is one of the core or key items in the build because we are having so much armor that we are going to replenish about 1200 ES every hit. So when you see like really ridiculous pack of mobs, right, you can see your ES keep going like this. It's really very fast. Alright. And then next, the helmet, we are going to use Memory Vault. Alright, so for Memory Vault, it is kind of required for a build because of the last line of modifier. You have 1% increased armor per 50 reserve mana. As you can see over here, we actually have more than 2000 mana, alright? So if we have more than 2000 armor, let me just bring out a quick calculator, alright? I'm going to divide by 50, alright? Which means we're going to have 40% extra armor, right? Just from this helmet itself. Where is it? Helmet. Right? On top of the very high base armor and ES, it also gives you mana and mana regeneration plus fire resistance. The 20% reduced preservation efficiency, not really very nice over here, but we don't have a choice, okay? Next up, Flash Crafter. I think this one I don't need to explain because Skeleton Mages, this is the go-to for body armor, definitely. For the gloves, we're going to use Shaper's Touch, alright? Why Shaper's Touch is because we're just going to to have the +1 mana per 4 strength and then 1% increased energy shield per 10 strength. We are going to use a lot of attributes, and that is why this thing over here will give us a lot of benefits, a lot of incentives with the armor and ES base also. Okay, next will be the boots. The boots is just your usual ES resistance boost. You can just benchcraft movement speed or any one of the modifiers that is lacking. For the Searing Exarch and the Eater of World, you got to go for these two modifiers. Okay, it is not necessary that you need 11% bone offering effect, right? You can go for the 9% one or even lower than that. It is fine. Okay, and then 34% increased armor from equipped helmet and gloves, which means we are going to have more armor on our memory vault and our Shaper's Touch. Alright, and then next will be the Extra Mantis. So the Extra Mantis is the one that's going to give us all the attribute. Alright, with that, this is like the maximum attribute you can get from Extra Mantis, I think. So it's about 135 plus. Alright, if you have the quality catalyst, I think it's intrinsic, and then you need to allocate charisma on it, right? So that we'll have enough mana reservation for all of our auras. My bad. Okay, for the ring, we are going to go with the Hungry Loop, like I mentioned earlier. And the second ring, we're going to go for 2-stone ring. Basically, this ring is just going to have your resistance on the implicit energy shield and just one more line of resistance, which is fire resistance. It really depends on what resistance you're getting on your sorcerer boots. Okay, so do take note. And then try to have a suffix on it. Okay, try to have a suffix on it so that you can benchcraft reduced effect of curses on you. Okay, with this benchcraft, right, you are 100% immune to all of the curse. Okay, every single curse, your curse vulnerability, elemental weakness, and stuff like that. Everything, you are just invulnerable to it, right? Because we're gonna have Soul of Yugu, 30% reduced effect. We're gonna have our Flask, which is 50% reduced effect. And with this 2-stone ring, you're going to have 20%, so that makes up for 100%. Okay, for the belt, we're going to go with the Darkness Enthroned. I think this is like just a go-to no brain belt for minion builds. Alright, it's just too good. On here, basically what you need is 30 maximum energy shield and minions have increased attack speed. Okay, if you want to add more modifiers to it, by all means, you can add the one that has minions have more damage when you have used a minion skill recently, right? That one works as well, but it's going to be very expensive. Okay, and for our flasks, all our flasks, right, we are going to use this two specific modifier. Right, so the first one is very specific. You need to gain 6 charges when you are hit by an enemy. Okay, so this is the muscle cheese one. Okay, I don't really know how to pronounce, but yes, this is it. This is a tier 2 if I remember correctly. Okay, so let me just go a quick one. There you go, this is a tier 2 one. You actually have a tier 1 also, which is the Vigilance or something, and then you have tier 3, which is Sinners. So it really depends on your budget, okay, how much you want to spend on it. When you have 6 charges, means every 5 times you are hit by an enemy, you are going to use the flask again. Alright, because use when charges reach full. This includes block as well. Okay, so when you block, you also gain the charges. That is why it's kind of like broken over here. You have like infinite amount of sustainability on your flask, regardless whether you are in the map or when we are fighting boss, alright? Because you're going to block almost every single thing. Just don't get one shot by any of their attacks, and you should survive in all sorts of attacks that is going to come to you. Okay. Next will be Basalt Flask. So Basalt Flask will be same. Use gain 6 charges when you're hit, and then we're going to have the increased armor. Alright. So for quartz, we're going to have the reduced effect, and then jade. Oh wait, this is not jade. My apologies. This is supposed to be the ruby flask. Let me just fix this the first one since I'm doing the recording. So why the ruby flask, right? Is because we are very weak to fire. Okay, we are very weak to fire, and that is why we will actually need the ruby flask. Alright, the jade is actually not helpful. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so the jade is really not helpful because when you evade something, apparently you will not gain the charges. Okay, you will not gain the charges, and that is why, in my own opinion, it is bad. I have tried it before, and that is why I am not using it anymore. Okay, so first of all, my apologies, it's not jade, it's ruby, and we are weak to ignite, so the ruby is going to help us a lot. Okay, because we will have 20% less fire damage taken, which means 20% less ignite damage taken as well. Okay, and then you have the immunity to bleeding and corrupted blood, which means you won't die to DOT as well. Right, so the only DOT you actually legit die to is like ignite. That is why, like I mentioned earlier, the build has a weakness to ignite to fire damage. Okay, and the last one, Ruby's Concoction. So this is just for the maximum block chance to hit the cap of the maximum block chance, if you might. Okay, I'm not going to go through the rest of the cluster jewels because I've gone through them earlier. And so yes, this is basically your items. The only thing you need to take note really properly is basically your boots and your 2-stone ring, because that will be the one to cap your resistance. Okay, so here will be the note section. The note section is basically the same as all of my minion build guides. Alright, I'm going to just go through a quick one. For your enemy guardian equipments, you're going to have Kingmaker. Alright, helmet, you're gonna have Lear Cast. Body armor, Doppelganger Guys, just for the insane regeneration. And for the gloves, it's actually something different this time. So basically, you're gonna look for one with life regeneration rate glove. Okay, I'm gonna give you a very quick example now. Okay, this is the POE trade website. So something like that. You'll have the 21% increased life regeneration rate. Not sure if you can see, but I have the trade link on the Google Sheet, so you can just look at it. And once you get any one of these glove, right? Once you get any one of these glove, just throw in a Searing Exarch currency, your Eldritch Emperor, and hit them with the chance to unnerve enemies on 4 seconds on hit. For 4 seconds on hit, right? So with that, you have a better version of the glove that can unnerve. And then next, the boots, we are still going to go with Victorious Flight. So I understand that there's actually another kind of boots which is good, and you can just get any of the boots with the Searing Exarch modifier that drops Brittle, Scorch, or Sap, right? Yes, that works too, but yes, you can just change it anytime. I prefer the Victorious Flight because I just want the additional movement speed. Alright. Spectres, go with one Carnage Chieftain, one Host Chieftain, one Arena Master. You can get them from Jog's Warlord map, or if you really want, you can just PM me or come to the Discord and ask any of us. I'm sure the people are friendly enough to just let them take it from you. Okay, and then last, Day of 2. Day of 2 can only be gotten from the 2 bridge area or even 2 bridges. Alright. If you do not want to take Day of 2 because the build is already very, very tanky, right? You can take another. I would recommend to take another Host Chieftain, alright, so that you can have more power charges instantly, like straight away 3 power charges, because power charges really add a lot of damage. You can see if I were to add 3 power charges, my damage is going to shoot up to 14.5 million. But if I add 3 frenzy charges, it's 14 million only. Okay, so definitely additional Host Chieftain if you want, and below is just the rest of the minion leveling guide if you really still need it. Okay guys, last but not least, I have the Google spreadsheet for you to buy all of the items, including the trade link. Okay, so do take note of the notes over here. And then I do not have the order of items to buy, but I'll update it once I am free. Okay, so yes, this is just a convenient way of buying your items. But yes, if there is any mistakes over here, please just let me know and I'll try to correct them. Okay, that comes to the end of this video. So if you have any questions, do join the Discord and I will try to answer your questions. And if you like my video, do remember to hit the like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Bye!